You're all set, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Jerome Gibbons.
Mr. Gibbons, state your name.
Gibbons.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Gibbons is before the court for a violation of probation hearing. Mr. Gibbons has corrected some of the items since I have provided a recommendation to the court. He has completed and provided proof of his behavior modification class. And he's also provided proof that he's going to be starting employment. I did have a long conversation with him. He has now just remaining the balance of the 475. Given that he's completed the programming components of the sentence and did get back in contact with probation. At this time, probation is asking that the court adjourn the violation of probation hearing to June 12th to allow Mr. Gibbons to pay the balance. If he gets that balance paid within the next couple of weeks, as he's promised me he will, then probation would then cancel the deal.
Anything you want to say?
Get this money today, sir. So you already talked to me the last time I came here. I already know what's expected.
Do what? I talked to you? What did I tell you last time? What? I told you that? Did I?
Yes, sir.
Were you listening?
Yes, sir.
So let me get this right. 65, that's 60, 57. So I was going to give him 357 more days in jail.
I went over that with him, Your Honor, and he got me the stuff that I needed as far as the programming.
I don't get to do that?
I think that he totally believes that that would have happened.
Do you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So tell me why I shouldn't do it anyway. I'll wait for an answer.
Sir, keep us up in this, sir. Make sure I'll get it done because I want to do it time, sir. I'll pay the man down the job.
Messing up my day. I was reading through these recommendations and I said, Gibbons. And I said, I get to give him all this time. It was actually going to bring me great joy. And then you finally went out and did what you should do. Why did it take all of this?
So I was moving in between jobs and just placement at home. It's like,
Life? Oh, is that what that? Oh. Life got in the way. And I almost did 357 days for that. Yeah, it didn't get that much. Right. Okay. Somehow or another, you figured it out.
so,
The last time you came in here, you thought I was playing around, right? Well, after we talked, you did. But before that, no.
Actually, you said some other stuff.
I said some nice things about you. It doesn't sound like me. All right, young man, get this last part done so you can do this. So I'll order 365 days in jail. Credit 8 served. I will suspend the balance at this time. I never had anybody say yes, sir, that much. Anyway, he completed the he completed everything, right?
Yeah, except for the money, Your Honor. So can we just adjourn this to?
Yeah, I will. So then what I'll do is I didn't tell you to leave yet. I was adjourned June 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. Now you may leave. He had a bounce in his step. He is so happy to be leaving. Oh, who's the young lady? Hi. Did you want him back? I mean, I can keep him. Oh, uh-oh. See, if I had known that before, I would have kept you. All right, you two take care of each other. Court calls the case, People versus Robert Lewis. Go ahead.
Under Natalie Pate, for Mr. Lewis, please state your name for the record, sir.
Robert Andrew Lewis.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, today time set for sentencing. I have discussed this matter yesterday. I have reviewed the SIR rather first with Mr. Lewis. We have no changes or corrections or deletions. As to the recommendation, I do ask you to briefly address that before sentencing.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have discussed both with Ms. Valera and Ms. Barroso yesterday. The recommendation was originally for 93 days in jail, credit for 70. I won't pontificate for all the reasons for that because I believe Ms. Valera has no objection to our request is to have Mr. Lewis sentenced to 70 days, credit 70 served, no objection to the rest of the recommendation.
Why would I do that?
Mr. Lewis recently pled to all his
Well, why wouldn't I just suspend the balance as opposed to have him serve the balance?
we have no objection to the rest of the balance just being suspended.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, anything you want to say?
Thank you, Your Honor, for speaking up and saying that you just suspended. Thank you for that. That's all I have to say.
Did he mean that? I know he did. All right. I'll send him to $125 statutory fee, $175 restitution to Ashley Lotus, payable through the court. How long is it going to take you to get that in, young man, if you get released? Is this the only thing holding him, or?
Your Honor, if I may, he does the whole bit of time that he's signed his extradition waiver for. So we do not know how long we'll be in that custody. He does have sentencing at circuit court scheduled on August 7th. All that being said, I would request that fines and costs be payable as far as the court will allow.
Let's do it this way. You just waived extradition to go to Ohio. Is that right?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. So what I'll do, I don't know what's going to happen down there. I'll just make this payable by December 31st, 2024 to give it a day. So, and then I'll order 93 days jail, credit 70, serve, the balance is suspended.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good luck to you, young man.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case, People versus Robert Fritz.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Fritz. I don't believe Mr. Fritz is pregnant. I don't have an explanation for it, so if you're here today, I would ask for it.
Please declare on behalf of probation, Your Honor, Mr. Fritz is scheduled for the court for a violation of probation hearing. He's not compliant with all terms ordered by the court. It was a jail recommendation today. Probation without the court issue.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond is set in the amount of $15,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Thomas Martinez. Court does call the case People versus Andre Gibson.
Good morning, Assistant Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Gibson. Your Honor, I do not believe Mr. Gibson is present. I do not.
But if you said it slow enough, he would show up, or? No, go ahead, sir.
I do not have an explanation for his failure. Your Honor, I would ask for it.
Please declare on behalf of probation, Your Honor, given Mr. Gibson's not appearance today, and does not comply with probation is active.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond is set in the amount of 15,000. I'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case People versus Thomas Martinez.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Martinez. Mr. Martinez, please state your name.
Thomas Martinez.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we did review the pre-sentence report. We didn't have any changes to that report. As for the sentence recommendation, we don't necessarily have any objections to the recommendation. We do ask, though, that the court allow him to be released to treatment. He is serving a sentence on a 14B case, but in that case, Judge Washington ordered that he can be released to treatment on that one if he completes the in-jail bound farm program, which he's set to finish next week. After that's up, he can be released on that case to treatment. At this time, that's the only other case that's holding him in jail, along with this one. So we'd be hoping that he'd be allowed to be released on this one as well, if the jail can find him with that.
Sir, is there anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Thank you for hearing me out. Sorry.
Sentence of the court, I'll order $125 statutory fees, the state minimums. I'll order 120 days in jail credit for the 46 that you've served. The balance is suspended. I will also indicate defendant may be released to inpatient treatment after completion of bond farm.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am getting this school bus. Stay home. My family is taking care of it.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Michael Olson.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Olson. Mr. Olson should be on Zoom, Your Honor. Is he present?
Really?
Yeah.
It's okay, Parody, you're doing well. He's not on Zoom.
Okay. I just speak with Mr. Olson, Your Honor, just for the record, I mean, the last time we spoke from sentencing in December to now, Mr. Olson's attitude has significantly changed. In his interaction with me, I explained to him about even the jail recommendation, and he was like, yeah, I didn't do anything, that's what I deserve. So I do think
That's what I deserve, but I'm not gonna show up.
I know, I don't know why he's not here, Your Honor. I just didn't want to put that on the record that I do think he's ready to take this seriously and get this over. For the record, I asked for the adjournment.
Please clear out your application, Your Honor. Mr. Olson, this is the second time that
Yes.
he's been set, given that he's not here, demonstrating that he's not facing serious probation after.
Despite what Parody says, yeah. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond is set in the amount of 15,000. I will give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. That was nice. He had a lot of faith in him. Court calls case People versus Wayne Shaw.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw, can you state your name for the record?
That's my name, Wayne Shaw.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Shaw is present for sentencing. We did review the CSI with him and conditions or conditions. As for the recommendation, I would ask that the court sentence him to credit for time served. In the alternative, I would ask that the court add a provision that he too could be released to treatment. When he was last in court, he was released to Harbor Light. He did complete 30 days there. However, he now has a new case in front of this court at the PCC stage, and he has a pending probation violation. From my conversations with him, he's indicated that Judge Schley on his probation violation is planning on sending him back to treatment, to do more treatment. Which Mr. Shaw and I, during our conversation, he admitted would be good for him. So we would like to get him back into treatment, on this case, if Judge Schley releases him on his other cases as well.
All right. Mr. Shaw, anything you want to tell the court, sir?
I'll just say that I would have taken care of this, but I was in treatment. They took me from the jail straight to treatment, and it would have been done. And that I kind of tripped out with the pandemic that was going on at the time. That's why I did what I did. I apologize, but I didn't know, just what the world was coming to. So I would like to apologize for being so absent-minded, and that I need to go ahead and get things together. And I can't change my past, but I'm looking forward to the future.
On the retail fraud, second degree, $125 statutory fee, $150 restitution to Kroger payable through the court. I will order on that case 365 days in jail, credit 178 served. I will indicate defendant is to serve the balance. Defendant is also ordered to complete the in-jail Dawn Farm program. I will consider his release upon completion of that program. On count 2, $50 statutory fee, 90 days in jail, credit 90 served. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw.
Court does call the case People versus Johnny Lee Bassett.
Good morning, it's the public defender, Laura Crane, on behalf of Mr. Bassett. Mr. Bassett, can you state your name for the record?
Johnny Bassett.
Mr. Bassett is here for a show cause. Just recently had pretty intense surgery on his mouth. I think he got 12 teeth removed, he told me. He owes, I think, $250. He said he could pay.
He owes 300.
I'm sorry, $300. He said he could pay $50 beginning next month. I think he's been out of court due to the surgery. Out of work, excuse me, due to the surgery. So perhaps I would ask the court to order him to pay $50 by maybe mid-June and $50 there.
Per month.
Yes.
Sir, anything you want to say?
No, sir.
I'll order that you pay $50 on these outstanding fines and costs by June 15th, and then $50 each month thereafter on the 15th. Until
Thank you,
this
sir.
gets paid in full. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You do the same. Court calls the case People versus Martell Williams.
Today's the day and time set for sentencing. I have discussed this matter with Ms. Blair, and at this time, we respectfully request to adjourn the sentencing to June 12th at 9 a.m. and for Ms. Graham Tether to continue and for a re-referral to Bond Schwartz.
I'll re-refer to defendant to Bond Schwartz to complete an alcohol screening and assessment. I'll adjourn the sentencing to June 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. Continue the Graham Tether. Thank you.
Mr. Williams, I believe, wanted to say something.
Oh, okay, go ahead. You sure? Oh, okay. Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Anthony Bristol.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kirby on behalf of Mr. Bristol. Mr. Bristol, can you state your name for the record, please?
Anthony Bristol.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I would ask Mr. Bristol to update the court on how much he can pay on this file.
Bristol?
At the moment, I'm out of work currently. I could probably pay $200 by the end of the week. But at the moment, I'm out of work, so that's all I can. If I could set up a payment plan, that would be perfect for me.
Okay. You can pay 200 by the end of the week?
I believe so. Yes, hopefully.
$200, that'd be due by May 10th. 2024. Then how are you going to get the rest of the balance paid off? Because you owe $1,252.
Hopefully I could just do monthly payments of
Okay.
of
How much are you going to pay each month?
$200.
Okay. So $200 by the 10th, and then I'm going to order $200 each 10th of the month thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls case, People versus Matthew Gibbons.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kirby on behalf of Mr. Giddings. Now, Mr. Giddings is in custody of Wayne County. I would ask for the adjournment of the show cause.
Do we know when he's getting out?
So he's there on a reason on the first. I just found out about it when I tried to contact him. So they call me back.
June 12th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, until 11 o'clock.
Wow. All right. You know what? It must be Natalie. Only because when Parenty was here by herself, just never ran this smoothly. So it's the only thing I can think that's changed. That's okay. I didn't mean that badly.
And the interns, too. They all, it's all the interns.
Nah, it's not that. All right. Anyway, court stands in recess. $21 short.
Judge had a family matter. So we're all on hold waiting on him. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, the
Hello?
judge had a family matter and we're all on hold now.
All right, thank you for your help.
Can you see me?
No, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I just contacted them. He had a family emergency and
Okay.
doesn't matter what we have going on in life, we have to sit here and wait.
Mr. Stanley? Thank you.
Super.
It's like a real England problem sitting downstairs.
All right. 14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session.
You may be seated. My sincerest apologies to those in the 11 o'clock block. I had an emergency that I had to leave and take care of. And I appreciate you staying. Court does call the case of People versus Norman Reeves.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Reeves. Is Mr. Reeves on Zoom here?
He is not.
I do not have an explanation for this.
Hold on. That's not him. Go ahead.
I don't have an explanation for this, but I here, Your Honor, I asked for this.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation, Your Honor, Mr. Reeves was scheduled for a violation of probation, given he did not comply with the terms and not clear probation requesting that.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond is set in amount of 10,000. Give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the People versus Marquita Simmons. She's on. Thank you.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. Simmons, who should be present via Zoom.
Looks like she is. Can you state your name, please?
Marquita Simmons, sir.
Claire on behalf of probation, Your Honor, Ms. Simmons is before the court for a violation of probation hearing. She is at her 2-year max of probation term. She owes a balance of $3,775. She's made no payments towards her fines and costs and/or restitution. She's failed to report to probation as directed, failed to complete the theft class, failed to complete her 25 hours of community service, failed to complete or submit her fingerprints. She also failed the bench warrant out of the 15th District Court. Given all of the violations in this case, probation is asking that she be remanded for 365 days in jail, that she complete the in-jail MRT program, with the court to consider an early release upon completion of that program, waive remaining terms, accepting the financial obligation, and discharge from probation.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have the opportunity to discuss this with Ms. Simmons on a few occasions. We did discuss both the alleged violations as well as the recommendation. Ms. Simmons does acknowledge and admit that she has violated probation in those alleged ways. However, as to the recommendation, she represented to me that she is a single mother to a 4-year-old nonverbal autistic daughter. And very unfortunately, she did struggle with homelessness starting in December of last year. Last month, she was able to get into state housing in Flint. We are respectfully requesting the court to consider discharging Ms. Simmons from probation without improvement, but in ordering the restitution, of course, or continuing that order, but we are asking the court to consider not remanding her at this time. Ms. Simmons does acknowledge and take responsibility for the violations, but she is very concerned that if she was remanded, certainly to serve a year in jail, that her 4-year-old daughter would have, frankly, nowhere to go, and she has nowhere else that would care for her. and that we would respectfully request the court to not remand her or order any jail time, but to just simply discharge her from probation without improvement.
But she's done nothing.
And Your Honor, I would also like to state, this case started as a felony. I mean, the court is aware of that. It was reduced down to a misdemeanor. And she's made no effort to get any of the things done. I do know that she had some communications with my office, indicating that she was never told, which they.
Never told what?
That there was many attempts made by my office to get her back into compliance and or reach out to her. The only time that probation started with any consistency was yesterday before court.
No, excuse me, Judge, may I speak, please?
Yes, go ahead.
I never even met Miss Ellen. After the court date and all the appearances and things like that, I tried to contact her to see what the stipulations of my probation was. She never contacted me.
Hold on. You're telling me you tried to contact my probation office and they didn't call you back?
Yes, sir. I
I do
emailed.
not believe that. I don't believe
sir.
that for a minute.
Yes, sir. I don't have no reason to lie on this lady or myself, sir. I did report where I was supposed to, and I contacted her, and I talked to the secretary lady. A lot of times she was always in court, and she said she'll give her the message to call me
Ms.
back.
Polera is only in court with me 2 days a week max. So that I know that's not true.
I don't have to lie to you,
If you
sir.
want me to go pull the phone logs, we can tell exactly when you may have called. What dates did you call?
It's been a long time. It's been over a year since I've called. That's been a long time. It's been over a year.
Your Honor, I can tell you, I've received a total of 3 report forms from her in the 2 years.
Three report forms.
3, a total of 3 in the 2 years. I had a phone conversation.
Well, just so the record's clear, that's a monthly reporting form.
Correct.
So if my math's correct, 2 years is 24 and only received 3.
Correct.
So we're about 21 short. Go ahead, Ms. Polera. I'm sorry.
I also spoke with her directly on March 20th. The violation of probation hearing was set then. When I spoke with her on that date, all I got was a lot of, I'm not going to do that and I can't do that. And I advised her that this court date.
I don't have
that
the
this court date
finances,
was
and I
set
kept
out to
telling
give her
you,
some time to get things completed, and she's done nothing.
I don't have the finances. If you're taking care of a 4-year-old autistic child, what finances do you have? I don't have the finances to pay for restitution. I've been said this in court a long time ago.
You had a felony that got reduced to a misdemeanor. You took the misdemeanor, got placed on probation for the longest you could. Give that time. You want to keep interrupting me? You go right ahead. And then you did nothing. And then you come before this court. You know, you don't even file the monthly form. That doesn't even require you to be there. You did that 3 times out of 24 times. You did you did nothing. And then you get here and, you know, the problem, you then try to blame Miss Polera that she didn't call you back. First of all, in the years that I've worked with Miss Polera, that doesn't happen. You tried to call out and tried to blame the wrong person.
Right.
Anything else, Ken?
Nothing further.
Defendant is remanded to serve 365 days Washtenaw County Jail. I'm ordering that the defendant report to the Washtenaw County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to report will result in a bench warrant. That bench warrant will issue without bond.
I don't have any way to
Ma'am,
get Washtenaw
you
County.
want to keep interrupting me?
I'm sorry, sir.
While in jail, the defendant is to complete the in-jail MRT program. I will consider early release upon completion. I will waive the remaining terms, accept the financial obligations. discharge the defendant from probation without improvement. And if you want to believe that I won't issue that warrant, ma'am, try me. Thank you.
Judge Simpson, how would I supposed to get down there at 6 p.m. with no transportation?
Court calls the case, People versus Jeremiah Stanley.
There's a public defender, Laura Curry, on behalf of Mr. Stanley. Laura, do you have your statement for record?
You have them or no?
He's there.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. He was being very.
Hello, sir.
I need a camera.
I've tried to turn it on. I don't know how. Things have
Well,
changed.
seems that you were upset about having to wait, so now we have to wait until you can turn your camera on.
Can you see me now?
Amazing how that works. Miss,
Yeah, it just gave me an option, sir.
Your Honor, I did review probation's recommendation regarding the violation. We do ask that you adopt her recommendation. Mr. Stanley and I, the conversation about the recent week, he says he's going to work on that as soon as possible. He is going to provide Ms. Blair with his work authorization or work proof. And again, we ask that you adopt that recommendation today. And we did talk about the wait. He is very concerned because he's at work right now.
I'm sorry that my life happens to have emergencies. I'm on the bench every day. And if you think for him, I'm going to leave my daughter out on the side of a highway, not going to happen.
I'm sorry, sir. I totally understand it. I had a friend of myself. I had a friend of myself commit suicide this morning. I've had a very difficult morning, and I'm.
Ms. Valera, what did you want to tell the court?
Your Honor, I just wanted to provide to the court that Mr. Stanley is in violation of the terms that was ordered by the court. Probation would ask that the court give Mr. Stanley a chance to complete probation terms and is recommending that he serve 3 days in jail, credit for the 3 days that he served, that the balance of his $975 be paid by the application of his bond that he posted, that the court extend the prosecutor deferred for a period of 9 months, that he report to probation tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. in person, then as directed, that he become compliant with all previously ordered terms of this court within 30 days, with the final review hearing February 12, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Sir, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
I agreed to give over the bond money to pay for the fines. That was the money I was saving up. I'm sorry that I failed to comply with the fingerprints and the outpatient therapy and everything else. I want to keep my job and not go to jail and lose it possibly.
Sentence of the court, 3 days Washington County Jail, credit for the 3 days that he served for the violations to date. He's to pay $975 or $975 balance today. I will apply the bond, which will account for 900 of that. The balance has to be paid today. I will extend his prosecutor deferred sentence for a period of 9 months. I'll order that the defendant is to report to probation on Thursday, May 9th at 11:30 a.m. in person and then report as directed. He is to become compliant with all previous ordered terms within 30 days. I will schedule a final review hearing on February 12th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Sir, is there any way that I can show up tomorrow to pay the remainder?
Fine. Pay it tomorrow.
All right, thank you, sir.
Are we done? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Court calls the case, People versus Damon Watson.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Laura Curry on behalf of Mr. Watson. And I don't believe Mr. Watson is present. Really good role here. This, I don't actually heard the Your Honor, and ask for adjournment.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation, Your Honor, given that Mr. Watson is before the court for a violation of probation, and not complying with the terms of the court, probation's required.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear, bond 10,000, 10%.